Following that news that Everton had been deducted 10 points for breaking profit and sustainability rules, Colin Chong, the interim CEO of the club, has released a statement saying they will appeal the decision. Have a listen.
Myself and everybody at the club are shocked and disappointed by the ruling of the Premier League Commission. We believe the sanction is disproportionate and wholly unjust. The club's view is that the harshness and severity of this punishment are neither a fair nor a reasonable reflection of the evidence that was submitted to the Commission. For that reason, the club intends to appeal the outcome before the Premier League Appeals Board. This is a sporting sanction that directly impacts supporters. The club and our players and staff and our fans will stick together in the face of what the club believes to be an unprecedented and disproportionate sanction. As we enter the next phase of this legal process, there is no further comment we can or will make, but rest assured, we will be standing up for Evertonians and our great club.
Let's go to the phone line, shall we? I know lots of Everton fans want to have their say. 03717223334. That's the number Matthew has dialed. Hello, Matthew. Good afternoon.
I do. How are you doing?
We're okay, but it's not our club. It's your club. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm all right. I think it's just good to get it out in the open and find out what's happening. I don't think there is an Everton fan that will be surprised by what's happened. If there's an opportunity to kick Everton, then that's exactly what happens. And historically, the club have never stood up for itself.
Matthew, sorry, just going back to what you're saying, playing devil's advocate. What do you mean if there's an opportunity to kick Everton? Why do you say that?
Well, there's just been loads of examples of, if there's a new rule come in, Everton will be the ones that will be punished for it. There's clearly other breaches happened that have not sort of taken place. Anyway, the point is, I just don't think Everton fans will not be surprised by this at all. But actually, probably doesn't go far enough, because I don't think there's any danger of being relegated. The team are doing well, and I think if anything, it's just going to galvanise people at Everton, and it's an awful place to go for an away team when the club are together. So I just don't think it's going to be a problem, and they'll see it through.
Matthew, do you think it's not going to be a problem because it's been so early in the season? As you said, you win your next game, you're out of the relegation zone already, and the fact that it's all out on the table now, you've got the 10-point deduction, you know exactly what's happening. The club can move on from that now. Do you think that's more of a positive?
I mean, it's not a positive by any means, but I really think they wanted to throw the book at Everton. They know that this is a historic penalty, but I just don't think they've had the bottle to go far enough. And it's recoverable for Everton. They know what it's like to be in a relegation fight. They've only got to, they're not even, the points deduction doesn't even take them to the bottom of the league, and they've just got to finish fourth bottom. And I think that's, Everton can do that. And actually, I think a lot of Everton fans felt that the penalty would come in and it would be that severe, they wouldn't be able to recover from it.
Let me ask you, you obviously think Everton are innocent in this. Would I be right in saying that?
No, I don't. No, sorry, I don't. I think Everton have clearly breached the rules.
So if they are guilty of this, what do you think the punishment should be? 6 clubs
broke the rules by wanting to walk away and break the league, and their punishment was £20 million between them. So Everton have broke the rules. It's actually quite a minor infringement. And you had the guy on earlier, Ziegler, professional journalist. He said it's completely in keeping with punishment in the Championship. The problem with that argument is the finances in the Premier League are completely out of kilter. So being £20 million in breach in the Premier League, there's no way you could say it's the same offence of being £20 million in breach in League One. So it is completely disproportionate.
Okay, but let me ask you the question again, Matthew. If they are guilty in your mind, what do you think the punishment should be?
Well, I think if it's a financial breach, it should be a financial punishment. How can you have a sporting? Because I don't think
that deters the big hitters.
No.
If Man City know that they can break all these rules and regulations and get fined £40 million, it's a drop in the ocean to them.
But why? Okay, but I just don't think that it's complete. How can it be more of a punishment than go into administration, where people lose their jobs?
It's not more of a punishment than going into administration.
Yes, it is. Portsmouth was deducted 9 points. That has to be going into administration, there has to be...
I see what you mean. Sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There has to be a bigger...
Okay, but
crime,
that's a conversation for another day. But I'm asking you whether or not you think, if they are guilty of this crime, you think 10 points is too big a penalty. And I don't think a club can be hit with a financial penalty.
No, me neither.
It won't touch the sides of the big heads. It really won't. It wouldn't deter me. If I were Man City and I knew that I could break all these... Or any club that's got...
40 million.
I mean, Newcastle have got, like 500 billion. Why would it worry them if they're going to get £3 million fine?
But I agree with you there because, like I said, my first point was this has been hanging over Everton for ages. They've been they wanted to sell the club. It's actually not borrowed money. It was the owner's money or Usmanov's money. So the question is, why did they worry about a 10-point deduction? They could have just spent all the money the owner had. So it's not, it is just literally a kind of anti-Everton thing. And,
well, I don't. Matthew's saying
it's anti-Everton.
I don't think it's. If you break the rules, you're going to get punished.
I think the 10-point deduction might be harsh, but I'm totally with you. If you're going to try and hit these football clubs, try and lower down the pyramid, I get it. Like if you start hitting 10-point deductions or hitting them in their pockets and they go into administration, nobody wants to see that.
No.
But these big heads at the top end of the Premier League scale, £40 million, off.
Let me tell you now, it will hurt Man City 10 points. 100 million wouldn't hurt them.
Mate, 500 million wouldn't hurt them.
Would make no difference. Daniel's an Everton fan. Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
Hi, Daniel.
Oh, you're right, Goldstein. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. We can hear you loud and clear. Although you are in a wind tunnel, it sounds like.
No, we're driving, mate. We're driving at the minute.
Okay. What would you like to say?
I kind of agree with the last guy, man. I feel it is a bit anti-Everton. I know you guys don't agree, but I think a lot of stuff in the Premier League is quite anti-Everton.
But what's anti-Everton? They've broken rules and they've got punished. What's anti-Everton?
I agree with you. We've broken rules. City have also broken rules. Chelsea have also broken rules. We're not.
But Chelsea and Man City are under investigation.
They are under investigation, but I do feel like they're going to get away with it, or they're going to get a slap on the wrist. I feel like we're the scapegoat, and we are the what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I feel it is a bit anti-Everton out there, mate, to be honest with you.
But do you think you're guilty of the crime?
I think in some aspects we may be guilty of the crime,
I'm just playing devil's advocate, but if you are guilty of the crime, then you've got to be punished for it, right?
We've got to be. I find the punishment very harsh, very severe, especially for one offence of one breach of financial fair play.
Okay, I get that. I get that.
And I feel like it could have been a lot lesser, and we could have still learned our lesson another way. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. Can I ask if this isn't this is just me. I know nothing about it, but if, for argument's sake, Man City or a big head like them get found guilty of like over 140 breaches and they get instant relegation, will you still feel as though people are picking on Everton or not?
No. I feel if City get just, I feel it'll be harsh on both teams to get something like that. To be honest with you, I don't think we need to go down this kind of route. But no, obviously that will change circumstances. Okay. But I do feel like City are going to get away with it. It seems like it is sort of slipping away. And they're going to.
But I think because there was over 100 charges, it's going to take a bit of time to the Manchester City one.
There's one charge. Yeah, they've got like 100. Is it 142?
115, I thought it was.
100. What is it? 115.
115. Yeah.
I mean, that's going to take months.
It's going to take years, not months.
Yeah, it's going to take years. John's an Everton fan. Hello, John.
Hi, lads. You all right?
I'm great. How are you doing today on the back of that news?
Yeah, not too good. It's a bit bad news, but I must admit, if we're guilty of it, then 10 points is probably right to deter it. The only problem for me is it's the timing of it. I feel like we were on the up. We started coming on the up when we got the news that it was getting investigated. As soon as we get to a point where I think it's an easy cop-out with the Premier League, because they go, if we take the points now, Everton fans will still think, it's okay, we're in a good place, we'll still stay up. So I think it's a bit of a cop-out in that sense.
John, let me ask you a question though. Listen, I get what you're saying, but what would you have rather than, as a Everton fan, get the 10-point deduction now, or go, 3 quarters away for the season, and just before, 10 games before the end of the season, bang, have a 10-point deduction?
Yeah, but I see what you mean, but you can do it starting next season, as it's happened in the past, but you've also got, it's the international break, so as an Everton fan, that if you get that points deduction today and we've got a game tomorrow, that game tomorrow is for us to react. We either win and then we think, right, it's okay, we'll fight this, or we crumble and then we're back in the relegation battle.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think it's a good time to do it, because if you do it at the end of the season and you're being deducted these points because you've breached the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, there will be teams going down that might not be going down if they did it in the middle of the season. So I don't know if there is ever a good time to do it, John.
Yeah, but at the same time, in 2 months' time, they could turn around and say, right, we were wrong. We take it back because I know we've appealed against it. The appeal could go through, and then for 2 months we could have been in a relegation battle where we didn't need to be.
Yes, I highlighted that point earlier.
I definitely think now, the earlier on in a season you get it, I know it's not great and you don't want the 10-point reduction, but I think the earlier on you can get it in a season, it gives you more time to recover.
Yeah, you don't want... look, there's no good time. Don't want it with 4 games to go.
No, you don't.
I'd rather have it with 12 games gone than 12 left.
And your next win, you're out of the relegation zone anyway.
I agree.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.